And welcome back to the AM Drive here on Torrent Sports. And with Sammy Action, and by the way, as a guest co-host, and Aaron Crouch, the normal co-host. Well, the regular. That makes more sense. Not normal, regular. We are presented. Wait, what? Oh no, he's gonna rejoin. I can't hear you, sir. I hope you're all right.
Bye, Aaron.
Right. Go to MikeandAaronDrive.com and click the F for the best in sports merchandise. What's up, Aaron? No, not working. Daily deals from every team in every league. Again, you got to go to MikeandAaronDrive.com and click the F for everything Fanatics. So while Aaron's trying to join and rejoin our stream here, we got 2 winners and 2 losers from the NFL draft. And Sammy, I'll let you go first. Give me one loser.
One loser has got to be the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Anytime you trade for a receiver who is an unproven commodity in my mind and give up your first round pick for him, I can't think you had a good draft. I just hate the Hollywood Brown trade. I hate the fact that they gave up as much as Philly essentially gave up for A.J. Brown, who's a significantly bigger upgrade. I don't really understand that the whole philosophy, and it made their draft go kind of haywire for me.
Right. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can.
So you just said Cardinals, right?
Cardinals.
I heard all that. Yeah, I can
Okay, cool.
I can get down with that. For me, the loser is the Patriots. Just I'm sorry. You have a guard with a 3rd round grade. Now, look, I know grades aren't everything, and he may turn out to be fantastic. But again,
right.
He's a guard who could have been had. I mean, even Sean McVay. That was a fantastic video. I don't know if you guys saw.
It was incredible.
McVay and Snead basically laughing at the pick. And then you have Tyquan Thornton, who had a 5th round grade on him. Again, could be a superstar. I don't know. But again, you had opportunities there to get immediate impact players, and you went with a guard from a middle tier, lower, not even a G5 school. I think UT Chattanooga, it might even be a D2 school. I'm not even sure where. I've heard of UT Chattanooga, but I don't know much about them. So for this guy to go in the 1st round, look, I get this whole in Bill we trust thing, but it's getting harder and harder to really just keep these rose-colored glasses on.
Wow. I will give my first loser. It's an obvious loser. I'm working a lot of comments here, and I don't know if you can check the comments for us. If not, it's cool. I'm going to see a lot of chats in there, which is great. I'm not mad. I'm just saying.
I can't see the chat, so you'll have to let me know.
Read them. We got unfortunately, he cannot come on the show. We have to set that up. Can we all agree Aaron Rodgers is a fraud? Russ Wilson is the best. A.J. Brown's a great player, though. Have you guys seen Antonio Brown's? Never mind. So I got Packers as one of the worst, as one of my losers, because they got Devontae White and Quay Walker. Well, you want a cookie for that? Because you better hope that Christian Watson shows up. Because if he doesn't, you guys traded up to get an FCS player, and you got 2 defenders in the 1st round. When everybody and their sister thought you were going to at least trade those 2 to get your favorite guy, couldn't get Chris Olave. Even Sky Moore fell to the Chiefs. None of those guys were good enough. Christian Watson. I'm sorry. Packers, really? I mean, I know Aaron Rodgers didn't seem pissed off, but I'd be pissed.
I thought the Quay Walker pick was not the best choice. He wasn't even the best linebacker on his own college team. It was hard for me to understand him being their first selection. I do like the Packers getting Christian Walker in the 2nd round, or Watson in the 2nd round. But the Quay Walker pick was a bit baffling to me personally.
Okay. So Sammy, your first one was the Cardinals. What is your second loser?
Second was just Minnesota Vikings. All of the trades they made were in division. And so all these receivers, all these running backs who got drafted by the Lions, the Packers, everywhere else in the division are going to basically be running rampant over the Vikings for the years to come. And when we look back on, we're like, how do these teams get these players? Well, thanks to the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow. Aaron, you have a second loser you can think of off top?
Off top, without looking at the entire draft right now, I thought the Stingley pick 2 years ago would have been great for Houston. There were so many more positions of need. I know we talked about this. Hell, I would have even been happy with Garrett Wilson going number 3. The situation here. So I got to say, Houston taking Stingley at number 3 when they could have had Sauce, they could have had Evan Neal, they could have had Ike Ekwonu. There were so many other options. Not saying that Stingley's going to be bad, but with a first round pick, you really want to have something instant impact, or you want to have the best person at that position. I don't think they did either one of those things. I thought Sauce Gardner was the best person at the position. And then, of course, obviously, like I said, OL or getting a wide receiver to help Davis Mills. They did none of that. And I know they eventually got the, I think, 13th pick and reached for a guard we thought was going to go late first.
They got Kenyon Green, yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I actually thought Houston was really poised and prime to have one of the better drafts. And I thought, maybe that was just expectation versus reality. I thought they screwed it up.
They did let the Peter guy from Baylor fall, the safety or corner, whatever you want to call him. Their one wide receiver, they took one wide receiver was John Mechie.
That I'm fine with. I like John Mechie. He's another guy coming off an ACL just like Jamison Williams.
But I've heard a lot more about Jamison recovering than I have heard about John Mechie recovering.
Well, Jamison hurt his in the SEC, or no, excuse me,
National.
John Mechie hurt his in the SEC championship game, and Jamison hurt his in the final. So you would think that Mechie's going to come back sooner than Jamison Williams does, but also John Mechie is. Where'd they get him at? The 4th or the 5th?
They got him at the, I believe, 5th.
Okay, so I mean, there's no pressure on this guy. If he comes back healthy, which a lot of these guys do from ACL surgeries.
Second, I lied.
They drafted him in the 2nd. Okay, I still don't hate the pick. Again, I'm looking at a loser and more of a terms of this was not a spectacular draft to begin with, and when that small cluster of talented guys are there, and you don't take one. No, like I said, no disrespect to Derek Stingley. I just think, and maybe this is just based on my mock draft, I thought he'd be middle to late tier first round.
Right.
Because, during that championship run for LSU, he was great, but he's played 10 games over actually 8 games over the last 2 years. What are we doing?
I'll tell you what we're doing. I'm going to give you my second loser, Aaron. I think you're going to like this one. I almost went with the Raiders because, I mean, once again, if they hadn't had such a great offseason, I would have went with them. But they do, whether it's Mike Mayock or whoever's drafting for that team, I'm assuming Mike Mayock in the past, obviously. But whoever drafts for that team, they don't draft any names. Their first pick was round 3. I didn't recognize anybody they drafted. But I'm going with
how many guys in round 3 did you recognize?
Quite a few. From 3 on back, there was quite. I was like, oh, I still recognize some of these guys. But the Bears are my second loser. I'm going to give you the Bears picks and tell me if any of these guys, you care about any of them. Kyler Gordon, the cornerback from Washington, second round pick. I get it, but they didn't trade up to get a wide receiver. Jaquan Brisker, the safety from Penn State, okay. This is their wide receiver. The only wide receiver they drafted to help out Justin Fields, by the way. Velus Jones Jr. from Tennessee.
I like him.
Oh, my God.
I like him.
You like him. That's wonderful.
Tennessee was resurgent, and I watch a lot of SEC football. But it sounds like the Bears, and I'm not trying to rain on your loser here.
Yeah, you're good.
The Bears had an atrocious secondary last year, and it sounds like they made strides to try to improve that. Plus, I mean, let's be honest. Darnell Mooney can do it just as much as Allen Robinson did last year. That's totally fine.
I agree with Mike here. I think the Bears should have been trying to make Justin Fields better this year. So their draft should have been geared towards helping him in every way, and they spent their first 2 picks on defense and then got a middling receiver who may or may not even play for them that much this year. So I can't understand the Bears being a bad choice.
Bring back Matt Nagy.
By the way, offensive tackle, center, and guard, but they were all in rounds 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking flyers in a draft like this for 4 and beyond.
I disagree. I think the reason why people call this a weak draft is because there was just no quarterback. It's like, okay, there was a really good skills in this draft, in my opinion.
Sure, but the thing is a lot of these guys, I mean, do you really see, and again, things can change in 3 years, but do you really see superstars in this draft?
I see a couple.
Maybe the edge rushers and maybe the quarterbacks.
3 to 5. I don't think there's 10, but I think there's 3 to 5.
But again, who are they? They're the edge rushers and maybe the quarterbacks. And maybe some of the receivers.
So, Aaron, you actually segue perfectly into my number one winner, because I think when we look back on this draft, we're going to say, how did the Jets get all of these players at the same time? The Jets were the clear winner in this draft, man. Their first round is going to be one of the better first rounds we're going to see maybe in the last 10 years. Getting the best cornerback, getting probably the best wide receiver, and probably the best edge rusher all in the same draft. This is a team that if they make a run later on, we're going to look back and be like, wow, they have a lot of talent. They did a good job.
Right. They got Sauce, Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson. Then I thought they did great in round 2 and 3. Breece Hall from Iowa State, the running back. And then Jeremy Ruckert fell to round 3, the tight end from Ohio State. Sounds pretty good. I've seen him. He's not bad.
Yeah. These guys aren't all going to pan out. It's hard to have everybody pan out, but if they get 3 out of those 5 to become bona fide stars on their team, that's a pretty good baseline for a draft that everybody's saying didn't have a lot of talent. These guys can play, and that's going to be a good Jets team going forward, in my opinion.
Another loser for me, by the way, is the Falcons. I just want to put that out there. Drake London as your guy, and then Desmond Ridder. Dude, the fact that Matt Corral and Sam Howell and Malik Willis all fell further, and you picked Desmond Ridder, I'm sorry. When he saw the good competition against Alabama, he folded. I'm sorry. Aaron told me about an it factor, and I don't see it in Desmond Ridder.
I really didn't hate the Desmond Ridder pick. Malik Willis is the best prospect in my opinion, but
that's fair.
Ridder can come in and play next year and be a bona fide starter for them. I don't have a problem with Ridder at all.
None of these QBs should start year 1.
No.
But if you're looking at all the places they landed, Corral and Ridder have the best opportunities.
True.
Yeah. We'll get to Matt Corral. I think we can see Matt Corral for the third segment since Aaron will be there for that. I know Sammy's got to go here pretty soon. Sammy, give me your second winner.
Including the trades, I would have to say it's the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia got great defensive players, as well as picking up A.J. Brown in this deal. I'm not a fan of the A.J. Brown contract. I don't think he's worth that kind of money, but viewing things in a vacuum, that is the most talent I think anybody got in this draft overall, including A.J. Brown, getting Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, getting Cam Jurgens.
Right.
This is a defense now that is already good, that got better, as well as picking up the best offensive threat that the draft move.
Good point. And that is technically winner of the draft because it was a draft day trade, so you're right about that. I like the Giants because they didn't draft the quarterback, so Daniel Jones is set for a year. You also got Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau. I thought they A+ those 2 picks for where they were at, 5 and 7. Great job for me. My winner, though, is the Chiefs. Trent McDuffie is your cornerback. They picked up George Karlaftis, the guy from Purdue, the edge rusher from Purdue. Then Sky Moore somehow fell to them, who was literally this draft's Tyreek Hill, if there is one. And then Leo Chenal, it's spelled like Chanel, but backwards. Leo Chenal, the Wisconsin linebacker, who was a really good linebacker, he's just incredible. So I love what the Chiefs did with their first 4 picks. And
the Chiefs were having a very, very good draft as well. The trade they made with New England, I thought, was very in their favor. I think anytime you trade with New England these days, you're getting the better of it now. Their stock has fallen pretty significantly. In terms of players who fell to teams, I think the team that picked up all the followers to me was the Baltimore Ravens. It seemed like every big pick they got was somebody who fell from 10 picks higher. So in that regard, I think Kansas City and Baltimore did very well. Yes.
Any parting shots, Sammy, here for Aaron or me?
I'm gonna go see Aaron now. Actually, I'm gonna go hang out with him and work for a bit. So, but I love being on, guys. Thank you all so much, and thank you. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day.
Time flies when you're having fun, Sammy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Later.